Hello students, today we shall see the next point of this chapter, programming concepts, that is flowcharts. In the last lecture we have started with this point, flowcharts. We have discussed what is a flowchart, what is flowcharting, and what are the different symbols used to draw a flowchart and the flowcharting rules. In today's video, we shall take some examples of flowchart so that you will get a clear idea of how a flowchart can be used as a planning tool to show the logic of a program. Okay, so we shall take some examples. The first very simple example, draw a flowchart to input and output a number. Before I start with this video or with drawing these flowcharts, I will request you all to go through the flowcharting symbols used in these flowcharts. So initially we have to first draw the terminal symbol, that is the oval shape, and we are going to write start in it. So the first symbol, start. Next, a solid flow line having a arrowhead. What is the problem? To input a number. So for inputting a number, we are going to use read n, and we are going to use a parallelogram, which is the input output symbol used in a flowchart. So after start, read a number, n is a variable which will store that number. What is the second part of the flowchart? We have to output that same number. So print number is equal to n. So print is an output statement. So again we are going to use a parallelogram and we are going to write print number is equal to n. Whatever number you are going to input over here will get displayed over here. So we have done with the flowchart. So the last symbol, stop. Okay, start in the flowchart, terminal symbol, input a number, output that same number, and then stop. Okay, next we will go on to draw a flowchart to calculate sum of any two numbers. So here we are going to require two variables to store the two numbers and one variable to store the addition of these two numbers. So first, as usual, start. Next we have to take the input as of any two numbers. So parallelogram, read a comma b. So the two numbers are a and b. Next we have to calculate the sum. Sum is equal to a plus b. Now this is a calculation or this is a process. So we are going to use a rectangle which is used for processing. Okay. Next we have to display the output. So for displaying we are going to use the parallelogram, print sum is equal to this variable name. So whatever value will be stored in this variable sum will get displayed over here. And the last step, stop. So I hope you have understood this flowchart. Calculate sum of any two numbers. Any two numbers are a and b. We take it from the keyboard, input from the keyboard, calculate its addition, store it some variable and print the value of that particular variable and then stop. Next, draw a flowchart to check if given number is positive or negative. In the previous flowcharts, we have seen sequential. In this flowchart, we are going to see branching statements. So first symbol, start. We have to check whether a given number is positive or negative. So we have to input a number. So we'll take it as read n. N is an any number. Since input, again we are using a parallelogram. Next, for decision we are going to use, that is to check if, we are going to use a decision box or a kite symbol, which you have seen already in flowchart symbols. So we have to compare it. If n is greater than 0, which means it will be a positive number. If yes, print number is positive. Okay. If n is not greater than 0, it means it is negative. So print number is negative, and then it will come to stop. So suppose for example, if I take n as 5, is 5 greater than 0? Yes. Then print number is positive and stop. This part will be skipped. It will not get executed if this inputted number is positive. We'll take one more example. Read n. Suppose n is -2. Is -2 greater than 0? No. So print number is negative and then stop. In this case, this part will be skipped. So in a flowchart, branching either this way or this way. When we are executing, both the ways will not be followed. Either yes or no. Both these statements will not get executed. So when you are seeing this flowchart, please refer to the algorithm which we have written for this same problem. Okay. Next, draw a flowchart to print numbers from 1 to 10. Now we shall discuss the looping flowchart. As usual, start. We are going to start from 1. So we'll take the counter C equal to 1. We'll check it. C is less than or equal to 100 because the last value to be printed is 100. If C, that is 1, is less than or equal to 100, yes, what I have to do? I have to print C. C means 1. So 1 will get printed. Next, I have to print the next number. So I have to increment the value of C. So C is equal to 1 plus 1, 2. I have to check if 2 is less than or equal to 100. Is 2 less than or equal to 100? Yes. Print 2. Increment the value of C. 2 plus 1, 3. Again check. This loop will continue till C becomes 101. Is 101 less than or equal to 100? No. So what you have to do then? Stop. So if you follow this flowchart, you will get printed all the numbers from 1 to 100. So initial value is 1 and the last value is 100. So C is equal to 1 and we have to check the counter less than or equal to 100. So as you can see over here, it is looping statement. Same we will use for next program, that is draw a flowchart to calculate sum of first 100 numbers. So start. First 100 numbers, so we'll start it with 1 and we have to store the addition of all the hundreds in some variable which we will take it as sum and initial value will be 0. Next we have to check if we are counting the numbers from 1 to 100. So if 1 is less than or equal to 100, yes, what we have to do? Sum is equal to sum, the value of sum is 0. 0 plus C. Sum value of sum is 0. Value of C is 1. So 0 plus 1, 1. Okay. So now sum is equal to 1. Next we have to take the next number. So after 1 we have to add 2. So C is equal to C plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, 2. Is 2 less than or equal to 100? Yes. Now sum is equal to, sum value was 1. 1 plus 2, that is 3. So now the value of sum is 3. Increment the value of C. C is equal to 2 plus 1, 3. Come up again here. Is 3 less than or equal to 100? Yes. Sum is equal to, what was the value of sum? 3. 3 plus 3, 6. Come to our next. 3 plus 1, 4. Is 4 less than or equal to 100? Yes. What was the value of sum previously? It was 6. 6 plus the next number, that is 4, is equal to 10. So this loop will continue till the value of C becomes 101. When the value of C will become 101, is 101 less than or equal to 100? No. So no will come out of the loop. Print what will be the final value of sum by using a parallelogram and then stop. So I hope you have understood this flowchart and all the flowcharts. Following these flowcharts, I am going to give you some assignments and you have to draw similar types of flowcharts and submit it. So the given examples, you can follow them and draw the assignment flowcharts. All these flowcharts should be there in your notebooks, and the previously discussed notes of flowchart should also be in your notebook. Thank you.